Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tuesday again, and welcome to Out of the Ordinary. I am your host, Mikey. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about faith healers. If you don't know what faith healers are, I will talk to you about it. But for those of you that think that faith healers are like people like those southern snake charmers or whatever you call them, or people like Joe Osteen and stuff like that, those are not faith healers. Trust me, they are not. um Basically, faith healers in a Mexican culture, we call them curanderos. They're people that you go to, and they take a more holistic approach to healing you and stuff. Be it if you have somebody. Of course, Connor says here that damn voodoo, but also if you're there's also that stuff of the evil eye, and everything like that. But before I get into this, let me say hi to everybody here in the chat here. Let's see. Sandy Muncie, hello and welcome to my show. I know you've been coming into all of the shows and everything like that, so welcome to my show. And Mikey Aubrey, that's me. Yep. Connor, hey, what's going on? Calvin, hello. Nadine, hi. Liz, welcome. Welcome, everybody. And we got somebody that I don't think has been in my show before, Ben Vogel. Hello. Welcome to my show. So, all right, let's get into this here with the faith healers and stuff like that. So, faith healing is the practice of prayer and gestures such as laying on of hands that are believed by some to elicit divine intervention in spiritual and physical healing, especially in the Christian practice. Yeah, no, not to me. That's not what a faith healer is. But believers assert that the healing of disease and disability can be brought about by religious faith through prayer and other rituals that, according to adherents, can simulate a divine presence and power. Religious beliefs in divine intervention does not depend on empirical evidence of an evidence-based outcome achieved via faith healing. Virtually all scientists and philosophers dismiss faith healing as pseudoscience. So, yeah. Connor says, "I'm always sleeping before you go live." Nice. Yeah, I do that too. I go to sleep before I go live too. And so Liz says, I used to go to a church where they would speak in tongues and lay hands on people. Yeah, that could that is what faith healing is. I mean, I've known people that do that also. I've known people that talk to walls and stuff, and completely, they, yeah, it's some of it's weird, some of it's scary, some of it's pretty interesting. And once again, hey, Ben Vogel. And Mod says, indeed we do. Calvin says, welcome, Ben. We like, yeah, we do. Oh, hi, Dizzy Byard. Sorry, I cannot pronounce that name, but hello. So let's get back into this here. So what we know is that faith healing by philosophers, they all dismiss it as pseudoscience, which I kind of I'm on half and half about that whole faith healing thing, because I have witnessed some things in faith healing that have happened, and there are some stuff that I don't really buy into it, right? So faith healing recourse to divine power of cure to cure mental or physical disabilities, either in conjunction with orthodox medical care or in place of it. Often an intermediary is involved. I think that I said that correct. Whose intercession may be all important in affecting the desired cure. So yes. So one person we're going to get into right now is El Niño Fidencio. They call him Kid. I don't know what they would say Fidencio would be in English, but the name Niño is kid in English. And what's his name? Sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to call you by your real name, Donald Washington. Hello, I know. I'm very forgetful about names and stuff. So yeah, man. So let's get into El Niño Fidencio. El Niño Fidencio was a Mexican curandero, which is a faith healer. His birth name was Jose de Jesus Fidencio Constantino Cintora. That's a lot of names. Miranda de la Cruz Cardenas Rodriguez, something like that. Anyways, he was born on October 17th of 1898 in Guadalajara, Mexico, while in elementary school, Fidencio Constantino met Father Segura, well as Enrique Lopez at De La Fuente, who was the janitor as well as his friend and later his protector. They both worked to help the priest with religious services, and it was at this time that Fidencio learned to work with herbs and how to cure. See, it's Cosmo. There we go, Cosmo. What's up, Cosmo? And let's see here. We got LL Vizo, the pirate DDPR. Hey, welcome. And then Dizzy Bragg says, hi, Hen, how are you? For your support. Listen. Oh, okay. Don't forget to go on to scurryface.com and go vote for Sykes the Clown. He's in the group, Liz, what is it? Group 2? Is it? Am I correct? Go vote for Sykes on Scurryface. And remember, do not spam vote, please. It's only 4 times per person. 4 times a day per person. Okay, it's Group B. Okay, I got it. Anyhow, yes, go vote for Sykes, please. He's a really good guy, man. So back to what El Niño Fidencio and stuff like that. During his life, a multitude of imitators and imposters appeared, the death of one of whom was mistaken for Fidencio's own. The falsified death was announced by the press, and his funeral prompted a massive outpouring of emotions. His actual death just came just over a year later. Decades later, he still dominates the economy of towns of Espinazo, and his fame is the key to the town's tourist activities, as well as the sale of products related in some fashion to his cures in his person. Now, the thing with El Niño Fidencio here is that they sell candles of him and everything like that. And this guy supposedly, like, they call him El Niño Fidencio because he's kind of like this, like, he has the mind of a child, but yet he had these powers to, heal people and everything like that. And they actually built a shrine in Espinazo, Mexico. They actually built a shrine of him and stuff. And people flock over there, to see El Niño. They call him El Niño, or Fidencio. And people go and flock over there to see him because supposedly that he's created so many miracles and everything like that. And I do believe in that stuff because I do have Mexican blood in me and everything like that. And I do have native blood and everything like that. And basically we've always worked with herbs and, all this kinds of natural, like, healings and stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But then again, there's some things, like I said, there's some things I don't believe in. So let's go further into what El Niño Fidencio is. Fidencio was famous for operations without anesthesia, without causing pain to patients, and for relating cures to specific places in the village, such as Peruvian pepper tree, where he would toss fruit or other objects at the people gathered there, with those being cured, or a muddy pool in which he would submerge his followers. Subsequent tests revealed that the pool had a large sulfur content, which may have contributed to the healing effects. See, I tie that into that being homeopathic, like, okay, like those work better than, pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. According to devotees, Fidencio continues to work miracles through people called cajitas or mat- materias who channel his powers. So there are people like, if you come down here where I live and everything like that, there are people stationed, like, they have buildings and stuff. They're what you call, like, yerberias and stuff like that. But like, these people claim to have the powers of El Niño Fidencio and stuff like that. And they have shrines and stuff put up with candles lit and everything. But yeah, that's El Niño Fidencio. And now we get to something that it is kind of controversial, but it has to be talked about, because no faith healing or anything like that cannot go without Nuestra Señora de la Santa Muerte, or or for English, Our Lady of the Holy Death. Often shortened to Santa Muerte, is a cult image, female deity, and folk Catholicism and Mexican neo-paganism, a personification of death. She is associated with healing, protection, and safe delivery from the afterlife by her devotees. Despite condemnation by the leaders of the Catholic Church, more recently evangelical movements, her following has become increasingly prominent since the turn of the 21st century. And Psycho Bunny says, I love me some Santa Muerte Acá. Yes, of course, Acá. And who else wouldn't have traveled with her like you? You've told me many stories of that. Anyhow, originally appearing as male figure, see, I guess maybe before it all started, Santa Muerte was generally known as a male figure who appeared as a skeletal female figure clad in a long robe and holding one more object, usually a scythe and a globe. Her robe can be of any color, as more specific images of the figure vary widely from devotee to devotee, and according to the rite being performed or the petition being made. The cult of Santa Muerte began in Mexico sometime in the mid 20th century and was clandestine until 1990s. Most prayers and other rites have been traditionally performed privately at home. So there are people that do believe in healing with the Holy Saint Death. Some people believe in cursing with the Holy Saint Death. And some people, I mean, there's just so many things that they have done. But mostly right here, what I'm talking about is like healing and stuff like that. And there are people that do believe that La Santa Muerte actually has powers to heal and everything like that. Like I said, to each his own. I don't know any much things about the Santa Muerte. All I know is that yes, people do use her in a lot of like rituals and healing rituals and stuff. So let's get more onto this. So most prayers and other rites have been traditionally performed privately at home. Since the beginning of the 21st century, worship has become more public, especially in Mexico City, after a believer called Enriqueta Romero initiated her famous Mexico City shrine in 2001. The number of believers in Santa Muerte have grown over the past 10 to 20 years to an estimated 10 to 20 million followers in Mexico, parts of Central America, and the United States. And Canada. Oh, wow. Even in Canada, they believe in that. So Santa Muerte has similar male counterparts in the American continent, such as skeletal folk saint San La Muerte of Paraguay and Rey Pascual of Guatemala. According to R. Andrew Chestnut, PhD in the Latin American history, professor of religious studies, the cult of Santa Muerte is the single fastest growing new religion movement in the Americas. So, yeah, pretty much that explains it all. Like they do use her for ritual healings and stuff like that. So, all right. So let's get to the last thing on the list here, and that is Don Pedro Jamarillo. Don Pedro Jamarillo was a curandero and a folk saint from the South Texas Valley region. He was known as the healer of Los Olmos Creek, El Mero Jefe, in English related to the real chief of curanderos. Now, Jamarillo was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Purepecha indigenous parents. The Purepecha are commonly known as the Tarasco indigenous people of Mexico. Don Pedro Jamarillo died in modern-day Brooks County, Texas, on July 3rd of 1907. Jamarillo first came to notice when he arrived at Los Olmos Ranch near Falfurrias, Texas, and announced that he was a curandero and began treating Mexican families in the region. At the height of his career, families from far away as New York City would travel to seek help from Jamarillo. And acá says, ha ha ha, perro. No, I did not mean perro. I actually meant Pedro. Like, I guess my word of tongue just like, my word of tongue just, twisted around in there and like that. I said something else, but no, I actually meant Pedro. And yes, yay, acá, you were able to jump on as yourself. So Jamarillo's story as a curandero begins when he was suffering from a nose ailment and as a cure, daubed his nose with mud at the edge of a pool. 3 days of this self-prescribed treatment cured the ailment. However, it left Jamarillo with an identifying scar on his nose. On the third night of his treatment, Jamarillo believed he heard a voice telling him God has given him the power to heal. Test such powers, he prescribed a tepid bath to his master, which was said to heal his ailments. So Akaz says, you roll the R's and they twisted. Yeah, pretty much. I got the R and the D confused, and I added an extra R, so it came out perro. But no, it was Pedro. So the first accounts of his cures and powers were collected and printed in 1934 in Spanish. They were later in 1951 translated to English. Don Pedro is not only noted for his healing, but also his generosity. In Alice, Texas, it was recorded that he would sometimes buy $500 worth of goods at a time, simply to feed the poor. On his travels, Don Pedro was accompanied by a friend, Teofilo Barraza. Because of Don Pedro's popularity, large groups of people would camp at Los Olmos Creek, awaiting his return from his curing trip. And there is a shrine at his burial site on FM Highway 1418 in Falfurrias, and also a state historical marker. The Texas historical marker was dedicated in 1971, and is the first Texas to be written in both English and in Spanish. His popularity continues as he even had songs written about him. So a thing about this Jamarillo guy, my grandma was the one that actually told me to look him up and everything like that, and tell his story, because he is actually from my part of the United States, deep South Texas and everything like that, because I am not too far from Falfurrias, Texas. I am actually maybe about 1 hour away. So yeah, he's an actual legend around here. So more about him is that some of the tales portray Pedro Jamarillo as a clairvoyant. He would know inherently if someone was lying about an illness or ailment. In one story, he knew of a conversation that took place without him present. In 2018, former University of Incarnate World Master graduate Alcario Cardena wrote, "The Curandero, the life and times of Don Pedro Jamarillo, a Texas legend." a fictional supernatural screenplay and book based on Jamarillo in Mexican culture. Jamarillo displayed prominently in adorning homes, the form of paintings and statues. And so, yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know usually I go a little bit longer, but nowadays I'm just cutting my stuff short until I find some more,
The bodies of chaos are coming for you.
The bodies of chaos are coming for you.
Good morning!
Hey, Grossman, that wasn't cool, not cool. Anyhow, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll try to bring some more longer content and everything like that as soon as I find something, more, breaking and stuff. So thank you for joining, and remember, stay out of the ordinary. Good night.
This is Mr. Applewhite speaking. There is nothing wrong with your device. Join me here on Psycho Bunny DC. A delightfully dreadful consternation of horror content. Your head and free your mind.